Biological instincts drive us to push back when threatened. We romanticize the underdog who stands their ground and fights to the bitter end. However, history is full of graveyards built by underdogs. Take the island of Milos. During the Peloponnesian War, this small settlement faced an ultimatum from the superpower of Athens: surrender or be destroyed. The Melians relied on their sense of honor. They trusted in the gods and chose to fight the Athenian giant. The results were devastating. The Athenians invaded, executed every man of military age, and sold the women and children into slavery. Engaging a massive force head-on with a vastly smaller one is a mathematical failure. It isn't bravery, it is suicide. Resisting a dominant power gives them what they want: the physical justification to completely crush you. To survive a giant, you must suppress your ego and execute the one strategy your biology hates: strategic surrender. Strategic surrender functions by manufacturing the illusion of defeat to neutralize an enemy's aggression. In 1947, the House Un-American Activities Committee created an environment of extreme hostility for suspected communist writers. Most of the Hollywood 19 took a confrontational approach. They challenged the committee's authority out of principle, essentially choosing to become martyrs. This traditional resistance had consequences. These writers were blacklisted, lost their livelihoods, and eventually went to jail. Writer Bertolt Brecht took the opposite path when he was summoned by the committee. Brecht performed a feint. He appeared in a suit and smoked a cigar to mirror the committee's chairman, acting with complete congeniality and outwardly deferring to their power. By validating the committee's authority, Brecht lulled his opponents into complacency and turned their own power into a vulnerability. Once an aggressor is satisfied by your submission, their guard drops. This creates a blind spot you can exploit. Brecht used an interpreter to play vague linguistic games, appearing cooperative while running circles around the committee. He walked free. Author Milan Kundera described another subversion tactic that he called weaponized over-obedience. In his novel The Joke, prison guards force inmates into a foot race to display their physical dominance and humiliate the prisoners. The prisoners responded with exaggerated obedience. They ran the race, but mimed total exhaustion and limped, turning the event into a pathetic farce. Strictly following orders while ruining the spirit of the event mocks the oppressor and denies them the satisfaction of victory. Feigned submission buys you the time to silently infiltrate an enemy and gather intelligence. After a crushing defeat, ancient China's King Gaojian surrendered his riches and volunteered as a lowly stable boy for his conqueror. He used those 3 humiliating years to map his enemy's weaknesses from the inside. When a drought weakened the kingdom, he raised an army and won with ease. In the 19th century, Japanese leaders realized they could not defeat encroaching Western powers by force. They pivoted to outward conformity, using foreign trade to learn Western industrial secrets. This knowledge allowed them to rapidly catch up and surpass their rivals. Strategic surrender operates as a tactical retreat that secures the time and proximity required to plot a counterblow. Power is always in flux. Even the most dominant forces eventually face a downward swing. When you are temporarily weak, you simply wait for your oppressor's inevitable slide, positioning yourself to take their place as they fail. Martyrdom is a trap. Sacrificing yourself for short-lived glory removes you from the board entirely, ensuring you never see the enemy fall. The rigid oak tree resists the hurricane. Its stubbornness ensures its branches are stripped and its trunk snaps. The strategic sapling bends entirely to the earth during the storm, only to snap back upright once the winds pass. True power is not about winning every immediate battle. It is about mastering your own pride so you can stay alive long enough to win the war.